Okay, so I'm going to be going to the Italian village to eat dinner, and then I'm going to be going to the WGN radio station. That'll be interesting. Let's go. Alright, so I just had myself some absolutely amazing Italian food. I'm going to be walking back to my car so I can make it on time to the radio station, even though I'm an hour and a half early. Let's go. WGN Radio fan van. Not sure what it's called, but I am in the WGN Radio lot. As you can see, that's the gate. Here's the lot. So let's go inside the building. Okay, so this is the original part of the building. It says it was created in 1920. That's actually really cool. Okay, so I am inside the Tribune building right now. I'll kind of show you what it looks like as I go around. It's an old building, and I'm here waiting to get into the radio station, but it'll be on the corner, so like there's the one that everyone waves and knocks on the window of.
I remember so when I was in Mongolia.
Harold Washington was probably the funniest mayor. Now, he'd just make fun of politicians. He'd refer to, like, an Alderman Jerry Orbach as having a smile like a bent tin can. Can you imagine a smile like a bent tin can? I don't even know if I could make my mouth look like a bent tin can. How do you do that? And, you know, they made fun of Eugene Sawyer, Mayor Sawyer. I nicknamed him Mumbles. I covered him at the time, and you couldn't understand him. He was a good guy.
That's funny.
But nobody could understand what he was saying.
Okay, so I am here in the WGN green room, so I can show you around. So basically, this is a room they put us in, and before you go into your show. So there's me with the little camera. We got some cute little things here. I'll highlight. And I think the best part, I'm gonna just I'm standing away. It's a net, but look at the view. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I don't know. Now I know this is a green room. And I can like peep on in, and now you know by that Christmas tree, you can come and say hello to everybody who's inside.
The first mayor he covered was Richard J. Daley. I covered the last 6 months of his administration. I wasn't assigned to City Hall. I just would go there, I'd do an interview. He had a guy named Jack O'Reilly, who was a special events director, and Jack called me up and he said he wanted me to come down and interview Mayor Daley, Richard J. Daley, and the ambassador of Morocco. I was the only Arab journalist in the whole city, so he called me up and invited me. So that was the first time I interviewed Daley, and I got some great pictures of him. He died like 6 months later, and then Mike Bolandic, one of the aldermen, took his place. We're going to talk with Justin Kaufman. He used to be a producer over at WBEZ. We're going to talk about Harold Washington. Washington died 30 years ago this week. Hired by the Sun-Times. So I was able to do that big story on that. So there were a lot of neat things that really did happen. And you would see Verdoliak and Washington fighting on TV. But on the side, they'd be joking. Because, you know, that's the difference really between Harold Washington and Barack Obama. Harold Washington was a political animal like the rest of them. I don't mean in a pejorative way. I mean, he was like, it was in his blood, politics. Barack Obama, I don't see him as being that machine type alderman or anti-machine alderman. He was a very inspirational speaker, you know, and of course he had David Axelrod, who really helped him. He, you know, did a great job for him. The big exclusive in the Chicago Tribune was Mike Bolandic to run in the 10K marathon in Beverly Hills. That was a 2-deck headline on the front page above the fold in the Tribune. That was the news. And then Jane Byrne comes in there, and we had to bring computers, tape recorders, print new editions, because the story would change. From 8 o'clock in the morning we'd get there. By 11 she changed her story. By 1 o'clock it was something else. And you had to cover her 24/7. Well, Jane Byrne's husband threatened to punch me in the nose. He was upset with something I wrote. He called me up. He says, "You ever write that again, I'm going to come down there and punch you in the nose." And I told all the other reporters to get on the line and listen. And they all got on there, and then they wrote these big stories about how Jane Byrne's husband, the mayor's husband, threatened to punch a reporter for a small community paper in the nose over an item he wrote in his Sunday columns.
Oh, why don't you think people know about the mayors, like the names of the mayors or what they did?
We should give every mayor some icon, but they don't. I don't think they teach enough about who these people were, because Jane Byrne was the first woman mayor, and for whatever the politics, she was a pretty decent person. She did some great things. Harold Washington, first black mayor of Chicago. Whatever the politics, the guy had a great sense of humor. He was very smart. He did a lot of good things in Chicago. But we don't remember those guys.
The newest event in Chicago, the World of Chocolate, sponsored by the AIDS Foundation of Chicago. And Brian Noonan lives at the second best part of the holidays, Goose Island.